Hello, it's Georgia. We haven't uploaded in a while, so I've decided to do a quick extension of the family podcast we uploaded most recently. In the podcast, we didn't really talk about what it's like to have a sibling with a disability, so as I consider a sibling a cross between a family member and a friend, I decided to have a quick chat with my older sister Emma about her point of view on what it's like to have a sibling with a disability, before I upload the part 2 on friends. Enjoy!
I think it's because they don't know what it's like, they've not experienced it, so they genuinely cannot fathom what it's like to live with a disability or to live with somebody who has a disability. And they don't understand that it doesn't have to affect everything in life. Like, people think you've got a disability and therefore it's going to impact every little thing. You're not going to be able to do anything. But everything's a spectrum, isn't it? And you can do some things, but you can't do others. But the things you can't do don't necessarily have to overshadow the things you can do. I guess I just feel sorry for them, really, that they haven't had the experience, so they're just ignorant to the issues surrounding it, or even the lack of issues, I guess. There is a difference. It's not necessarily like particularly noticeable. I mean, obviously, there's things that I do with my other siblings that I can't do with you as a disabled sibling. So I did feel guilty at times. But at the same time, like, I do have other siblings and I do have my own life. Although you are a big part of my life, you were a big part of my life. Growing up, we were inseparable pretty much. But there were times when I not resented you, but I resented the fact you were disabled because I wanted to do things with you, like playing chicken on the beach, running from the waves, but you couldn't get down to the waterfront because of the pebbles. And so I kind of resented the fact you couldn't do everything I wanted to do with you. But at the same time, I don't feel like we missed out on anything. We did lots of things together. We've done all sorts together. Yeah, we've still done lots of things together. I don't think we've missed out, and our relationship is better than either of our relationships with either of our other siblings, I think.
I think it's because we're closest in age as well.
The closeness in age does help, yeah. Well, on the plus side, I get to park in disabled bays.
Glad I could help.
When you were doing sports, and like you do your training at the running track, so I could put my trainers on and run next to you and act as if I was actually an athlete. I've never been any good at sports, ever, and it just gave me the opportunity to do it with you and be like, yeah, I'm training with competitive athletes, and yeah, you were way better for your category than I was for my category.
Off my athletic ability.
I don't know, it was quite fun running around the track with you. Sometimes, I've always felt like Georgia's sister, not my own person, and that can be a bit challenging.
That's also quite difficult because you are the older one, so you would think it's the other way around.
Yeah, but I know you felt the same about me. You can do stuff yourself, but because people offer to do it or assume you can't do it, you just kind of get stuck in the, oh, well, I'm not going to do that then. You use it as an excuse not to have to do something. It's not that you're deliberately thinking, oh, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to use this as an excuse. I think it's just a slight kind of mental barrier to you doing something. Yeah, I remember a time when we went to the park and I was a teenager, you were maybe only just a teenager, and we were just playing like normal kids, and there was this group of boys, and one of them said to you, oh, you're only in a wheelchair because you're fat. And that just made me really, really angry, like more angry than I'd ever felt for anyone. And I think it was the first time I'd kind of sworn out loud for a long time.
First time I've ever heard you swear.
Yeah, I'm not a big, well, I wasn't a big swearer. I never really swore, but on this occasion I was just so angry. I did tell the boy to F off.
Basically, when we were on break, I used to sit and eat my lunch with my friends on some steps by what was A block. A guy from Emma's year was walking down the steps, and basically because I was side on, my wheelchair handle was sticking out behind me, which kind of, as you walk down the steps as he did, his pocket, which was obviously on his side,
His trouser pocket.
yeah, caught on my handle.
And he carried on walking.
And he did carry on walking, and it ripped from the pocket all down the seam, attached to said pocket, and released the trousers open.
Yeah, and then we had science class, and he was in my science class, and I remember he was sat on the front bench, and everyone was just staring at his boxers, which were poking out his whole massive, like, rip in the side of his trousers. We were all just staring at it, and we were like, oh, what happened there? And then he turns around and was like, oh, your sister! Oh, but he loved it. He was really good about it. He didn't, like, hate you for it. He found it funny, and he did that. He tried kind of every time he saw you in the corridor, he'd put his hands up and kind of shuffle round you to try and avoid it happening. But he did it in a funny, like, banter way.
It became a kind of joke between us.
Yeah.
I feel like I never even knew him after that incident, but it just became a thing.
The other day, and you were asking me, you said that you were telling Dan about how you'd done 30 kilos at the gym, and you were asking whether that was a lot. So I said, well, is it your arms or your legs? I forgot that you can't move any weight with your legs. So it had to be your arms, but I realised after I said it, but I said it anyway. I never realised soon enough, and I've done that lots of times. I don't remember a time without you. We've always been joined at the hip as kids, until you became a grumpy teenager and locked yourself in your... I thought it was great. I found it fascinating. Like, growing up alongside you, I wanted to get involved as much as possible. Yeah, from an early age, I liked getting involved with everything you had to do for your disability. And we've been very close physically. But of course, we're mentally close as well. I feel like when we were younger, we were always, like, I always used to think of us as twins. If I had to change anything, I think I would change your mental attitude to life rather than anything else. Because I think you can do more, or you could do more, but you don't let yourself, and you make excuses a lot. And I know there are things that stand in your way, and I'm
stand in my way.
Yes, I see what you did there.
I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and comment if you fancy it. See you in the next video. Bye!